Hello. In this short webinar, I'm going to discuss the disassembly process. The disassembly process is when you want to take a complete bill of materials and break it down into components, whereas the work order is the reverse. You take the components and build the finished product. In this case, we want to take a finished product, buy it whole from the vendor, and then disassemble it into its component parts. So what you see in front of you is a bill of materials, an assembly group, as you can see, as the name, and I've also made it lot or serial number tracking by checking this. I've added into this item the bill of materials, and it has two components just to keep it simple. One of them has lot numbers and one of them does not. Notice here that I also have a standard cost. Now this is very important because we use the standard costs to proportionalize the valuation of the finished goods when we create the value for the component parts. So it's important that the standard costs are populated to give the system the ability to proportion out those standard costs. Okay, so the first step is to create, obviously, your component parts and then your bill of materials. The next step we're going to do is we're going to receive that bill of materials. So let's say you buy equipment and you're going to disassemble it, or maybe you are a food processor and you buy a large item that you want to cut up into its component parts. You still need to buy it. So here, as everybody knows, to receive inventory, to buy inventory, ultimately we have a receiver, and we see that we bought two of them. It's just one lot number, so 2 and 1 lot number with a cost, and there's the value amount. The cost times 2 and the value amount are the same. Okay. So now that the inventory is there, the next step is to do a disassembly. I've created a new disassembly, and the first thing that I did before I start allocating the components, the first thing I did is I went to edit and I added the lot number that I previously had. It was easy. I just had to check off available from this. All right. So now I have that lot number. Then I allocated for the item that did not have serial numbers. The quantity came through. But for the item that did have serial numbers, I had to manually go in and add the new serial number because the system doesn't know. So I can do it in here, all right? So that's where I added it. Or, as always, I can go to the component editor and add the lot number there. Okay. So now I have both lot numbers, and you can see here that the value amount has already been calculated. So I'm going to go now to the valuation report and show you what we call the inventory movement detail. And let's ignore the end lot, but we can see what happened here. We received the product in. We received 2 of them. And at value of 145.40, we disassembled it. That means it pulled it out of inventory. And the 2 items that we created was this 100 item with this lot number, and it proportionalized the cost. Obviously, if you go back to the disassembly, you'll see that this item had a much larger standard cost. That's why it got the majority of the value that it split up.